So in the last class, we are looking into the business partner, right? In the business partner, we have seen the creation of business partner for the general, as a general data we have created, and we are looking into the supplier creation, right? So in the supplier creation means BP role will be your supplier type, FLVN FLVN 01. Okay, so here basically you have to see for the vendor general data. Okay, so in the vendor general data, basically you have to see if the vendor is acting as a customer, so you can create that as a customer and you can assign it to here. Okay, so the rest of the field we have already seen. Okay, so we are looking into the purchasing data. So in the purchasing data, we have to enter the purchasing organization. Okay, so inside the purchasing organization, we have to maintain the purchasing data, right? So in the purchasing data, basically we have seen the order currency, we have seen the payment terms, we have seen the input terms, right? Cost insurance and right? Okay. So salesperson sales data, ABC indicator, shipping condition we have already seen, right? And we have seen the GR based invoice verification and the grant free goods, service based invoice verification. So these are the required indicators. Okay. So here most important is this if you need any acknowledgement, and here also if you need the automatic purchase order. So this is a very important like checkbox for automatic PO. Let's say you want to convert a purchase requisition to purchase order. This will be important to have this checkbox checked on. Unless you are checking this automatic PO, you will not be able to convert the purchase requisition to the purchase order automatically. Okay, automatically means you don't have to go to the purchase order transaction. Directly you can enter the purchase requisition and system will convert automatically the purchase requisition to the purchase order. So we'll see that in a later part. So basically these are the okay. So one more thing is there. So customs office, let's say you are purchasing it from outside of your company, sorry, outside of your country. Let's say the it is purchased, the material are being purchased from the overseas. So there will be a customs office. So where your items or material needs to be reached out. Okay, let's say your company is based out of Hyderabad. So let's say the custom office will be Hyderabad Customs Office. Let's say you are based at Gurgaon, so your nearest customs office will be Delhi Customs Office, right? So let's say you are based out of Kolkata. Kolkata, let's say your Kolkata seaport or let's say airport will be your customs location. So you can have a customs location defined and you can put the customs office over here. Okay, so in the drop down you can see the existing entries. Let's see if we have something on India. Okay, so we don't have anything on India, so you can create a customs office for India. Okay, so let's see. So basically you can go to this material management. Here inside the material management, you can go to purchasing. Inside the purchasing, you can go to supplier master. There are master data. So we can go to the supplier master. Here you can see supplier hierarchy. Okay, I'll see sometime and I'll let you know what is the like node for that one. Basically, this has been modified in the S4 HANA, so that's why it is not coming. So customs office, that is not that much of important also. So uh, we will see sometime how to create the customs office and other things that we are looking into. This okay. Fine. Fine. We'll be seeing this customs office sometime. Okay, so customs office is basically where your product, if you are buying it from the overseas, so where your product needs to be supplied. So that is basically your customs office. Okay, there you have to pay the customs duty and you can take the material from there. So this will be only for your import procurement scenario. Okay. Next one is okay. So here there is nothing. The next one is partner function. Okay. What is a partner function? Basically, let's understand. Let's say your supplier is having multiple let's say functions. Okay, let's understand it by the example of Flipkart. Let's say you are purchasing from something or you are giving an order to Flipkart. Okay, so if you are giving an order to Flipkart is not going to supply you the material, right? Rather there will be a e-cart is there for the logistics partner, so they will be supplying the goods to you. Okay, so similarly there might be some let's say um, good supplier will be there who will be storing the material. Okay, let's say warehouse kind of thing, so there will be a warehouse will be there. Let's say there will be another one partner to whom you can give the invoice or from whom you can take the invoice, right? You can pay it to the vendor. So these kind of functions are there, partner function, different partner functions will be there for different functionality. Let's say someone is your main vendor, that we call as a VN type of vendor. So partner function we will be looking into it in a separate class. Okay, that is a um, proper class will be there, one or two classes will be there for explaining the partner function, but this is basically the uh, like the concept of partner function. Okay, let's say if there are multiple vendors are there to whom you need to send different purpose of document or anything, so you have to maintain a partner function. Let's say there will be a freight partner will be different. Let's say there will be a invoicing party will be a different. Let's say the ordering where you can give the order, that is a different vendor or different company, so you can maintain all of those things in partner function. Okay, so how we can maintain, where to maintain, that we will be looking into it in a later class. Okay, so that is all about your partner function. Next one is so here basically you can maintain the text also. Let's say your vendor is located in another country. So for your vendor, you want to put some another text. Let's say you are from India, but let's say your vendor is from Spain, or let's say they are from France. So you have to make the language as let's say Spanish or French. You have to make the language. So you can select the language over there, and once you are selecting the language you have to put the text over there. What should be text in the French language or Spanish language, you have to put some text over here. Okay, so that is the text. Next is supplier region. Let's say if there is any kind of regions needs to be defined, so here you can maintain the regions. Let's say country and supplier region you can maintain over here. Okay, so sometimes these are required for, um, let's say there are some materials which are what we call prohibited materials are there, right? So let's say you might understand, so let's say the for making the nuclear bomb there is a material, radioactive materials will be needed, like plutonium or some kind of material will be needed. So that materials are prohibited for some countries. right? So let's say some countries are prohibited to take that material. So those kind of things you can maintain, like to which country, to which region you can supply. Okay, so same for other things are also, let's say India is banning the China product, so now you can say for trading with China is banned, so you can mention that country China, we will not send it. Okay, so you have to maintain the, you don't have to maintain the country over there, so that it will be maintained as the supplier country, means you are not going to purchase from, let's say China or Pakistan, you don't want to purchase, so you have to maintain that entry, like you don't have to maintain that entry over here. Okay, so that is basically for the supplier region. Now let's save this one. Okay, cannot create a vendor. Okay, let's see the settings. What is the issue? So I believe there is some issue with the configuration. Okay, so that's why it is not allowing for the creation, right? So now master data synchronization. Here we can go to the customer vendor integration. Here we can go to the business partner settings, settings for vendor integration. Right. Okay. So now let's see it again. Three triple zero double two, right? So we'll just do it again. Okay. No problem. Let's create again. So grouping, you have to take ITBP. So here, let's say we'll go for 300023. Okay, so why this is taking. Okay, so this is basically the partner settings. So normally, wait. If take this. Now let's see it again. Okay. So basically, that is related to your partner functions. Okay, so partner functions, maybe we will be discussing it tomorrow. That will be in 01. Okay, so it's not coming right now. Let's try to save it. So you can see changes have been saved. So now we have created the business partner for both the general data and for the supplier master. And you have to also maintain it for the FLVN 00 for the financial side. Okay, so here basically you have to go to the company code data. In the company code data, you have to maintain some of the fields. Let's say reconciliation account. Okay, so reconciliation account is basically a GL account for your vendor. Okay, so here basically what is required, let me tell you. So maybe your reconciliation account is a mandatory field. If it is a mandatory field, then you have to enter some reconciliation account. If not, then you can leave it. Okay, don't try to put something, leave it. Okay, reconciliation account, you can leave it. If it's mandatory, just search from the drop down, whatever things are there, you can take something from here. Okay, so that's it. And these are related to your tax related information. Here this is related to your payment transaction, so here you are also having that payment terms. Okay, so here you can define some of the payment terms. So basically there are two payment terms we have seen, one in the FLVN 00 and one in the FLVN 01. So your FLVN 01 payment term, it will fetch to the goods receipt time. Okay, whenever you are doing the goods receipt, at that point of time it will see that payment term. Let's say if you are taking a different payment term. Okay, so at the time of, let's say, your inventory account, so those payment terms will trigger. And this payment term, this is the finance side payment term, it will trigger at the point of your invoice. So when you are creating an invoice, at that point of time it will take these payment terms. Okay, you can take two different payment terms and you can try to let's say test it, or try to just find it out what is the difference between these payment transaction payment terms for this finance side and payment terms for the supplier side. Next one is tolerance group. So tolerance group is basically if we are putting let's say how much material can so how much, let's say, invoice can be sent by the vendor. Let's say the material price is 10 rupees, up to how much they can provide a tolerance. Let's say if the material price is 10 rupees, if they are sending an invoice of 15 rupees or 20 rupees, till how much limit they can be able to provide a invoice. Let's say 10% or 5% they will be able to do that in a, let's say, over delivery tolerance, or let's say under tolerance, you can give it the tolerance group over here. Okay, so next one is here you can see the check double invoice. So this is basically for your checking of uh, let's say for your checking of your duplicate invoice, let's say the same invoice is getting entered two times, or let's say multiple times, you can have a check on that one. Okay, so for this one also you need to have a settings. So in there you have to put some filter criteria based on what basis you want to see the duplicate invoice. Let's say the reference number, let's say the company code, let's say the amount. Okay, so there will be multiple selection will be there, you have to select some kind of thing. Okay, some kind of thing you have to put it over there. Okay, so based on the plants you are going to check the double invoice, or based on the reference number you want to check the double invoices. Okay, so you have to put some filter criteria. Next one is here payment methods. Okay, how you want to pay, what is the bank number, if anything is blocked. So this is basically related to finance side, this is not much required, I'm just telling this you for your practice purpose. Okay, while you are practicing, either if you take a existing business partner, that is also fine, but if you are creating a new business partner, these information you must know. Okay, so basically you have to put some payment terms, tolerance group, and let's say double check invoice, and if there is any kind of alternative payee is there, if the payment is blocked, so you can put some indicator over here. So these are the things you can enter over here. Next one is correspondence. So dunning procedure, not much important. Okay, vendor status. So if the vendor you want to block for all company code, you can select it from here. And if you want to select it for some, let's say one or two company code, you can select it from here. Okay, so these are the blocking indicator basically. Withholding tax also, this is tax related information. This is language. This is TAN based exemptions are there. If some let's say states are exempted, so you can put some number over here, but this is mostly this is related to your finance side. Okay, we don't have to see into it. So basically here only you can put some information like payment terms and payment method, tolerance group, these are the things you can put it over here. Okay, yeah, so this is a required entry reconciliation account, mostly based on your let's say account group settings. This will be mandatory or optional, so you can check in the account group settings. Okay, your vendor account group settings, there you can check if the reconciliation account is mandatory. You can put it to optional also. Okay, so if it is mandatory, just select something from here. Okay, let's say select something from here. Okay, so now this is how you have to create the finance side of the supplier also. Why it is needed? So if you are creating a let's say vendor or supplier for the supplier master. Okay, for the FLVN 01, this is the supplier master. Okay, so if you are maintaining it for a supplier master, then you will be able to create a purchase order with this vendor. Okay, you will be able to do the purchasing activity. Let's say if you are going to pay to the vendor, let's say invoicing kind of activity you are going to do, for that one you must have initiate this FLVN 00 type of supplier. For the financial accounting side, you have to maintain the data, otherwise you will not be able to go for the invoicing activity for this vendor. Okay, so these three things are important. First you have to create it for a general data, that is 000 000. This is business partner general data. Then you have to create it as a uh, then you have to create it as a supplier master, then you have to create it as a supplier master financial accounting side. Okay, so these are the three things you need to create, you need to maintain if you are going to use this vendor for purchasing side or for the accounting side. Okay, so we have just created everything. So here once you are maintaining, it will show you as maintained. Okay, here you can see maintained, here you can see maintained. Okay, so this is how you can create a business partner. Okay, and one more thing, whenever you are working in a real time environment, you are not supposed to create, or you will not be creating any supplier master or vendor master. This will be uploaded by the master data team. And let's say for some time, for the first time, let's say you need to set up this. After that, you have to send the information, like what kind of data will be needed. You have to share that information to the master data team. So master data team will be uploading the data. Okay, so they will be uploading some of the data, or they will be creating. So maybe for the first time use, so if you are in a let's say implementation project, so there will be, for initial period of time, you need to have some, let's say, sample data to showcase the business partner functionality, or let's say to demonstrate a purchase order, you might need some sample business partner. So maybe at that point of time, you might need to create a business partner, or maybe this kind of things will be done by the senior people or senior consultant. It is not limited to senior people or senior consultant, they might ask you to create. Okay, so in that scenario only you can create a business partner, or you can create a material master. Okay, if this is the scenario. Otherwise, there is no other scenario that you are going to create a business partner, or you are going to create a material master in the system. Let's say if you are going to work in a support project, you are never going to create any business partner, or you are never going to create any material master. Okay, mostly that will be done by the master data team. So MDM team will be there, or MDG team will be there, so they will be taking care of the activity. Mostly you will be not having this authorization to come to this BP changes. Okay, only you will be having a display access over here. Okay, so you will not be able to access this thing. Okay, display and change. Able to understand? Able to get the point? How to create a business
Yes,
partner?
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so try to create this business partner. So tomorrow we will be looking into the this partner function criteria selection process is there. So we will be looking into that. Okay, okay.
Okay, sir.
So that's it for today. Let's meet up again on tomorrow. Yep.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye everyone.